Hello, sportsmen. You know, I think we've broken the back on winter one more time. Aside from a few cold nights and maybe a freak snow squall now and then, we can start making plans for spring fishing. Now, coming up in the next month here on The Practical Sportsman, we're going to fish in 3 different famous Michigan fishing holes. One is Lake St. Clair with pro fisherman Larry Walters. We're going to go on Houghton Lake with a couple of teachers who know that lake very well. And on this program, Bay de Noc with Walleye pro Mark Schultz. What do you think? Can I beat the pro? Hang on, we'll see. Fog hangs over Lake Michigan in the distance. Following that open water would take you all the way down to Chicago. But this little bay that juts northward from the northwestern corner of Lake Michigan is called Little Bay de Noc. It's one of Michigan's famous and favorite fishing holes. We're leaving at daybreak from the public boat launch in Gladstone. The month is September, but it could be any month when the water is open and the ice is gone. Little Bay de Noc is a year-round fishing hole that produces a variety of fish in good numbers and in good sizes. This weekend I'm fishing with Mark Schultz, a walleye pro from Niagara, Wisconsin. He owns a business in Kingsford, Michigan, right across the border, and he spends a lot of time in Michigan waters. He's on the walleye pro circuit. Naturally, I'm not. I think it's a walleye. Mark loves the challenge of fishing in tournaments. I don't. I like to catch fish to eat, and I like to fish to relax. But the thought of out fishing a walleye pro is intriguing. What do we got? What do we got? It's a walleye. It'll be cool. It's amazing. Close to a keeper, huh? We're just swinging her aboard. And we got to lay her down here and see if she stretches. With 15? 15. I think I can get it without pliers. There we go. There you go. Now, lay it down here. Oh, no, it's going to be short. Oh, great. How long do you think it is?
I'm going to say 14 and 7/8.
No, 14 and a half.
I just missed mine.
14 and a half. Well, that's too bad. Back. Let's go. The first fish of the day I caught. It was a half-inch undersized, but it was more than my walleye pro buddy caught. Now, not that keeping score is what fishing is all about for me, but why not keep score if I'm ahead? Well, now we have the second fish of the day. There. Came off. Now, just a second. He may not be bigger. He may be a brother. That's bigger. No, he looks a half-inch bigger to me. 16? Let's see if he'll just calm down here. He's 16 inches. I'll tell you this. Maybe I should reconsider my attitude towards competitive fishing. After all, I've caught the most fish. The question is, though, who's going to get the biggest? Water going in here. There we go. Now I can say to that walleye, wherever you are, you're always at home in the live well.
Pay attention. Pay attention. There you go.
Yeah, this is a good one, too. That's pretty nifty.
Oh, we got that coming down 20 feet long.
Yeah, this isn't a bad one. I think I'm going to call for the net on this one.
You going to call for the net on that
I'm going to
one?
call for the net. That last one...
Okay.
Whoa.
Oh, a spunk to him, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, this isn't bad. Very good. Yep, that one we don't even have to measure.
Oh, I don't know, Fred.
Oh, come on,
much
Mark.
bigger than that other one, I don't think.
Come on.
Watch the hooks.
Yep, that's the concern. Let the walleye pro grab him. Yeah, that'll be a good additional pair of fillets. Don't even think about getting smart and trying to throw that back. No.
Oh, geez, it slipped, Fred.
No, don't even think about that.
I suppose you could say it's 17 inches now, huh?
Huh?
I suppose you could say
I think it is.
17?
It is. You know it is. Or else you would have said that. Put it down there and see. What do we got?
Oh, 18 and a quarter.
18 and a quarter.
Getting bigger.
They're getting bigger.
We're going to throw Matt in as we throw it in the live well. There's
we go.
company for a big brother.
Here. I know Mark didn't want to show you my fish in here, but I got 3 of them so far. Got 2 walleye and a perch. It's hiding back there.
There he is. Cool.
But Mark has been very instrumental in getting these.
We're captaining.
Yes.
Captain.
Captaining today.
Yeah, captaining.
Well, I like that. The only fish that count in our little contest are walleye, and the goal is really to catch the biggest one. It's now the 2nd day of our walleye fishing weekend, and Mark Schultz is running behind me in the statistics. And yes, I made him aware of that fact on an hourly basis. On this morning, we shifted to night crawler harnesses. There we go. I'm well aware that my good fortune was a good part luck, as it always is in fishing. But those with the most experience, who work the hardest, seem to have more luck than anybody else. There, that's a tasty looking morsel. If I hadn't had breakfast, I'd eat that myself. You got one?
Yep.
Okay. Mark the coordinates.
You're probably going to need a net on this one, Fred.
That's what I usually say too.
I think I have his 18 inches beat.
Netting a fish for somebody else is fun, even when their fish is bigger than yours.
Okay, don't drop in the motor now.
Pretty good one?
It has your 18 inches beat,
Let
Fred.
me know when you guys see it.
Okay, there's the bottom. Oh, there it is. See them down there?
There we go. Ooh, that is a nice one. Yes, it does have it beat. Whoa!
How's that for an
That is dandy. That is dandy. Boy, you gotta like this. This is a super one. This is the best walleye of the trip so far.
So far.
Man, that's great. Boy, they do have teeth, these walleye. Look at those teeth, Maddie. You gotta be real careful when you're reaching in and getting the hook out.
There you go.
Yeah, I see I have the hook in my finger there. Oh,
All
boy.
the way through.
Oh, yes.
Just cut the end hook off. We can retie it.
Cut the end hook off. This, actually, I shouldn't be the practical sportsman. I should be called the frugal sportsman. But there's no way I'm going to that name now. And if you don't know what I mean, don't worry about it. There we go. That is a dandy.
There you go.
That is a dandy. And thank you for letting me hold your fish.
You're welcome.
See, we can use this in a little isolated cut, and people think, man, he catches
He
big
catches
walleye.
nice walleye.
Okay, so how long is it, Mr. Walleye Pro?
Gonna say 20 and a half.
20 and a half? Oh, I'd say bigger than that.
You
Let's
think
see.
so?
Oh, I'd say so. Oh, my.
20.
Mark,
Oh,
you
we're
are
way off
losing
on
it.
That one.
You're losing it. We're 22 and a half. You were a full 2 inches off.
But see, I can't be accused of fish stealing.
Okay, yeah, you were.
The big one that got away is a big one, see?
Okay.
That's how that goes.
Now, Matt, this is gonna be pretty cool here. We can open up the live well. There's the 2 fish from yesterday. Let me see if I can. Okay, this was the big one from yesterday. And look at, you've dwarfed it. You've dwarfed it, Mark. That was the big one. And we'll put the, boy, that live well, these fish have been in the live well all night long. Did you have it aerating like this during the night? How often does it kick on?
Oh, every 2 minutes, every 3 minutes.
Oh, every 2 or 3 minutes it puts oxygen in there. Boy, that kept those things going. That's great.
Just turn that one latch. So.
Turn the one latch. Later in the morning, we tried casting by some weed beds. I was using a purple crankbait that imitates a minnow. We joked about how this purple lure might taste like grape to the fish. Well, whatever the attraction was, it worked.
A pike.
Oh, wee! Okay. Oh, this is cool. Yep, he doesn't have it in his mouth, and I certainly don't want to. Oh, good. Doesn't look like it's hooked very well. Nurse him in. Now he'll come alive. There's the hook. Came out.
All right. That's the best part.
Yeah. So what do you think about pike?
What do I think about pike?
You like to eat them?
If somebody else wants to clean them,
Oh,
they're good eating.
I haven't had one from Bay de Noc. We did a job on the net there. Let me get this bad boy out of here. Now, what is it? It's 24 inches now, right?
Right.
This looks like a keeper. Ah! Whew. Those teeth.
They have teeth too.
They do have teeth. You can see them right in there. I got my finger up around the corner there and into some of those babies. Can you see those, Maddie?
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. See that one there is loose? You know, people talk about pike losing their teeth in the summer, but some of that is from,
Gingivitis.
no, all these are loose on the inside.
Are they?
Yeah, and maybe they're moving up to replace ones that are broken. But another thing is, no, some of these teeth are loose. You know, that can happen on lures, on spoons, when they grab it and they're fighting and pulling. I don't think their teeth, they just don't loosen up. But they move in to replace ones that are broken. But anyway, that's a good-looking pike. Don't you think, Matt?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
That's a nice one.
Nice pike.
Nice pike.
They like grapes too.
They do. It likes grape-flavored lures. Now, this one is slimy.
Nice
Holy
smells.
cow. In fact, it kind of doo-dooed on me right there. Well, this is a 24-inch measure ruler, and it's over 24. It's about 25, 26. We'll put him in a live well and fillet him up. Okay, big walleye, check this out. Whoa! Now, that's going to be a respectable live well.
It's getting there. It's getting there.
Getting there. Okay, I'm going back with that purple lure. You know, I used that other lure and finally got to thinking, what kind of sense does this make? Cast a lure 100 times, get nothing?
Cast that 10 more and get another one.
I will. Back over those weeds.
I only showed you the walleye we caught on this trip. We hope to catch more and bigger ones, but the shifting winds of the cold front, which brought us the beautiful sunsets, seemed to stifle the fishing for the moment. I enjoy the friendly competition, but I don't take it seriously. To me, fishing is for fun, however you can find it.
As the sun sinks in the west, we know we will return someday to Bay de Noc to catch more eater walleye. I really, Mark, I would rather catch a mess of eater walleye than a big one. Oh, yeah. You can win the tournament. I'll be chowing down.
Who ate the most fried walleye? I think that was a tie.
Several weeks ago, I asked your opinion of a proposal that's come up again, changing the firearm deer season opener to the second or third Saturday of November rather than on the traditional 15th, which usually falls during the week. Now, the Saturday opener would put 3 weekends in every deer season, but most of the respondents to our poll on our website gave this idea thumbs down 2-1. Of about 300 responses, 36% said change it, 64% said leave it as it is. Of course, our website opinion polls are not scientific, and people who converse on the web, well, they tend to be a little critical. But we'll see what happens with this proposal in the next few months. There are some people pushing it pretty hard, and given the fact that baiting is being curtailed starting this fall, Sportsman's attitudes might change on the Saturday opener. Now, last week, we presented some pretty persuasive evidence that piranhas, those fish with razor-like teeth from the Amazon that can be very unfriendly to warm-blooded animals, are living and spawning in some Michigan lakes, particularly the warm water discharges of power plants. Now, 3 were caught last summer in Muskegon Lake near the hot water discharge. I asked on our web opinion poll if you think it's possible that piranha could become a threat in Michigan waters, and if you think the DNR is taking the reports of these fish seriously enough. Well, this poll didn't draw nearly as much response as the changing of the opening day of deer season, but 1/4 of the people said piranhas don't bother them. They don't think they'll be a threat, but 3/4 were concerned and think the DNR might want to check this out a little more thoroughly. You can read all of the viewer comments that are on our opinion polls on our website. Now, this week's opinion poll is a question of law based on an experience, well, that I've had a number of times actually, but it came up again this past summer when 2 school teachers invited me to fish with them on Houghton Lake. Before we go out fishing, I got one little matter to clear up. I got to clear with these guys. Not my conscience, but I got to clear it up. Because my 2 friends were school teachers and because they invited me to fish in their boat, I wanted to discuss a little question of law with them. Got a little situation. Now I got to... Can you knock the motor off a second? Sure. Just, got a little situation here. I went to San Diego a week ago, took my fishing license out at home and left it at home. All I got is my driver's license. Now I'm a licensed fisherman, but I don't have my license with me. Got to see the look on his face.
Look at the blank look on the face.
What is that?
Violator. Violator.
You think that's violating?
Yes, sir. I do. I do think that's, I think the rule book states that you must have your pass with you while you are fishing.
Right, and it's back in Lansing. What would you do?
Well, you can come along as an observer, but I would not fish. You know, that would be a breaking the rules violation.
Don't you think that's a bunch of horse crap?
Uh,
I mean, seriously.
Fried I'd fish if I was you.
I'm going to fish unless you have a big objection. Somebody has an objection here. 'Cause I'm going to fish.
Your call.
Because I mean, my theory is I paid the $20.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a licensed fisherman. You know, it's just like when you don't have your driver's license with you or something, and they can check it,
Right.
even though it's a violation. I mean, we're talking the minor of the minorest violations. But, you know, if you're bothered by this, you're a teacher, you're an instructor of children.
That's right, and that's why I stand on the letter of the law. Because
Yeah.
I am a role model and an instructor of children, I have to stick to the letter of the law. And my kids will tell you the same thing, that I'm a stickler for those types of things. You know, I always tease them about the jaywalking situation, crossing streets when no cars are coming, and the law is the law. Particularly with the age of children that I work with, you have to make sure that they understand that we don't want them to get the idea that you can bend and weave. You have to have as a
Now,
member of the
hold
legal
it.
profession.
Hold it.
Yes.
These 2 guys are coaches.
Yes.
Okay, I want to remind you, they're coaches.
Correct.
Football, basketball. You're telling me that you don't bend the rules a little bit on a little roughing,
No.
a little bit of holding, just a little bit
No.
before they throw the flag?
Absolutely not.
Yes,
Your
Fred.
guys can't hold at all?
No.
Your guys can't, none of that.
No, run a clean. We run the cleanest program, I believe, in the county. We run a clean program. We teach kids sportsmanship. We teach good technique, and because we do, we're successful. We can win by doing it the right way. That's the best lesson you can teach a kid.
Now, I agree theoretically. What do you think, Rich? Come on.
Theoretically,
I mean, in basketball, there's all kinds of elbows and this and that, and you get in as much as you can, push the law, the rules that close, right? As close as you can.
you got it. You walk up to the line, and you know you can say that you don't, but everybody does. And,
But I mean, we're not calling Dave a fibber
no,
because
no.
Remember, my kids are watching.
I know the kids are watching.
They'll tell you.
With all the
Okay.
high-tech DNR equipment, this shouldn't be a problem that they could check.
Yeah, you would
Correct.
think. You would think. But I'm perfectly fine to go out and not fish and do the story. You know, because you guys are the fishermen. That's cool with me. If that's cool, that doesn't bother me. But I think this is a question here. You know, these things that are called law violations. Am I a poacher? Give me a break.
Definitely not.
You know, I don't know where I'm starting to sweat. I don't know where my deer license is that I bought last April. I'll find it. But, you know, you buy those things and, oh, well. We'll go fishing. These guys will fish. We'll do the story. I will stick to the letter of the law.
Thank you, sir.
Even though I think it's horse crap.
I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Alrighty.
There we go.
So what do you think? Should I just go for a boat ride, or should I go ahead and fish, knowing that the DNR officer can check his computer and verify that I am a licensed fisherman? Register your opinion on our website survey at www.rvoom.com. Next week, I'll tell you the results of this survey And I'll also tell you whether I ended up fishing or not.
Here it is. It's my 1999 Fish All Species, Small Game Residence, Waterfowl Hunting, $38.15. Never leave home without it. No, I try not to. Anyway, let's start on our guide report here. Matt Radzilowski calls all these guide report sources. You can get the details, read the transcripts of what he talks to them about on our website. Right here is a little summary, like perch and gills, catching a few here and there, according to Chip at Pilgrim's Village up in Cadillac. Steelhead are slowing down because of the weather. Traverse City Tackle Box. Pat reports slow brown trout fishing, a few limits of steelhead, 3 to 5 pounders. They're getting them off the break walls. The perch are hard to find, but when you find them, some of them are up to 16 inches. Over here at Gladstone, Little Bay de Noc, where we fish those walleye. Right now the news is splake, smelt are starting Days River and No-See-Um Creek, and a couple steelhead on Days River, but that's the big news right there. Let's jump over here to the west end of the UP, Ontonagon. Coho Lake Trout rainbows are a few here and there. No smelt runs yet, and they're waiting with their fingers crossed. Up in the Houghton and the Keweenaw Peninsula, Menominee are good on the Salmon Trout River, a few steelhead in the Huron River. Marquette area, look at this. They're getting to some Chinook, but limits of coho in the harbors, those are great on the grill, and steelhead limits in the Carp and Chocolate rivers. Over here at Harry's Place, Muskong Bay, no smelt yet, but on Tuesday, this week, Greg saw the first boat out on the bay, fishing open water since ice out. Over here at Drummond, though, look at this. 3 guys caught a total of 15 gallons of smelt on Tuesday night. That's the hot spot in the state for smelt. Perch are good in the slips and low, but the water is low. Rockport here, brown trout best in 3 years. They're getting steelhead limits in the Thunder Bay River, getting some walleye, Lake Huron. Pat and Gary's talking this northern part of the lower peninsula here. Some limits of steelhead. In fact, they got some dandies they're catching. Some perch are real good off Hessel, believe it or not. Haven't heard that in a long time. The smelt are spotty. Oscoda, steelhead are on the beds. A few walleye in the smelt, just a trickle. One guy got 16 smelt last week. Linwood, fishing is slow because of the wind. Just a few smelt down here at Lexington, Kings, Coho, Brown, steelhead. They're getting some limits. Trolling, smelt, or ferret, Port Huron. Lake St. Clair and the Trenton River, slow because of muddy water. Over here at South Haven, perch limits. Call for reservations for Captain Nichols boats, but they're getting them up to 14 inches. Getting some steelhead, brown trout, Saugatuck. Whitehall, perch limits up to 15 inches, but this is weather permitting over here. And Bill Acker, who calls us from Ludington, who says there's some pretty good fishing up there right now, he made it this week in our trophy book. Bill Acker from Ludington, salmon country. I mean, that's where they got the big kings.
Big kings.
Big kings. And what do you come here bearing at the banquet?
Well, 20-pound, 6-ounce channel cat and 11-pound walleye.
Holy cow. Now, how did you catch that channel cat?
The channel cat was on a 6-pound test and a nightcrawler harness, fishing walleye. Probably 63 feet deep.
63?
Yeah.
On the bottom then?
Right on the bottom bouncer.
Hamlin Lake's a deep lake?
We can chart you 92 feet of water anytime you want to see it. The map will say 78, but it's 92.
And that was in June?
June. Then in July, 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm always pounding the shoreline. I strayed out into 63, 64 foot of water. Thought I hit another cat, and it was 11-pound walleye.
Man, something else. What did you do with both of these?
The walleye was kind of cancer-ridden on the side, so we didn't mount him. The catfish tasted real good.
I see. Well, that's great. Those are great trophies. Bill Acker from Ludington, congratulations. Okay. But we've got some real interesting stories coming up on how you can have more fun fishing with very simple methods and not a lot of expensive equipment. I'll also be showing you how and why an RV can make your fishing more fun and better. See, the idea is to get outdoors because it's a great place to be. See you next week. Well, here they are. They've been in the live well. Some of these, this is a new one in the live well. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Doesn't want to come out. too bad. Okay, one in the bucket. I'm gonna go for the smaller walleye back here. Oh, this was one we caught yesterday evening. Here's another one we caught yesterday evening. Come here, little fella. Daggone it, this keeps them very alive. I'm saving the pike for last.
Oh, you are. Shit.
Okay, I've got a perch in here. This perch doesn't enjoy the company it's had. Okay, that's not bad. Now the pike. Mr. Pike.
He was the easiest.
Head first, that was easiest. There's our fish from the live well, soon to be cleaned, filleted, and in the freezer in the camper. And after that, it'll be eaten. Maybe we'll have fish tonight, Maddie.
Good deal.